Hi guys, welcome again to another Thursday. Happy Thursday, guys. Welcome. We're excited to be here like always. I'm Shamisha. I'm part of the Showit team, and I'm super honored to be able to host this couple today on the webinar. So in the chat, guys, let's get those excited emojis, get those hands up. We want to welcome this couple thoroughly. But before we get started, keep typing those emojis. But before we get started, we always have to go over some tech stuff. So if it starts buffering, if it cuts out on you, always start with refreshing your screen. And if that doesn't work, just know that this is recorded live, so you can always come back to this link and rewatch everything. And then at the end, guys, throughout, if you have any questions, we will have a Q&A at the end for Marcus and Courtney to be able to answer. So just type those questions in the chat because we will get back to those and make sure they're answered. If we don't get to your question, we will give you an opportunity to be able to reach out to them via social media or email, whatever that may be, so you can get your question answered. So enough with the tech. Okay, I see some hands up. Where are we from? Where are we praising from, huh? But let's introduce our couple really quick. I just want to first off say, have you ever ran into a couple that is just like kind of just draws you in and you're just like, I need to be their friend, like right now? Well, Marcus and Courtney definitely have that swag. My husband and I had the privilege of meeting them at the cookout in 2019 in New Orleans. And since then, I've I don't like calling it stalking or anything, but I watch like all of their stories because they're guaranteed to give you a laugh. They have the funnest dynamic as a couple. And they are just a powerhouse business owners, guys. They do so many different things. They're mentors, they're educators. And on top of that, they captivate you. They make you laugh. And who doesn't want a good laugh? But Marcus, he's a big time boss from the South. He's guaranteed to bring you a smile with a servant's heart to the table. He is a portrait and wedding photographer and educator. And Courtney, we have our Southern Belle today, guys. She brings class and expertise to the table. She's a licensed clinical social worker and a wedding photographer. And if you haven't had the chance to follow her on social media, you guys need to, because she kicks some knowledge and she'll punch you in the gut real fast, but it gets you moving forward because of her words. And, you know, that works for me. But as a couple, guys, they also run a podcast called My Therapy in a Box. You get to see their dynamic as a couple again. It's so good. And they also own a clothing line called Hey Bro Apparel. Make sure you look that up because that is some awesome clothing that they have on there. But I'm sure you've heard enough from me and you want to bring on the couple of the day. So get pumped. Here's Marcus and Courtney for you guys.
Hey, what's
Hey,
going
everybody.
on? We here. We have arrived.
We made it.
Hey, so I want to welcome, first of all, thank you, Showit, and the Showit team for giving us the opportunity to be here today.
Thank
We're
you.
super honored.
Thank you, Shamisha.
Yeah. As you guys know, I'm Marcus Porter. I'm a wedding and lifestyle photographer. I also own a clothing line called Hey Bro Apparel, where I create inspirational T-shirts to kind of inspire the community. And I also teach and educate beginner photographers and videographers in the city of Memphis.
I'm Courtney. I am your self-care therapist. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I've been working in the mental health field for over 6 years, and I also enjoy helping Marcus shoot wedding photography. It's a fun hobby to do on the side, and I'm just excited to be here. And I'm also excited to just help people be their best selves and live their best lives. Despite what 2020 told us, we're still trying to live our best life going
Living
forward.
our best life. You feel me? Living our best life. She keeps me straight. So when she come home, she kind of keeps my psyche and my mental in check. So I want to say appreciate you, babe. I appreciate you for holding your boy down.
You're welcome.
Okay. Hey, this is my sidekick, man. She always helps me out in the business. She's a great second shooter and a great mental health therapist, man. We like two peas in a pot. If you guys know us, we love to laugh. We do everything together, man. We shoot together. We as you guys can see, we eat together. We love chicken tenders and
Probably
fries.
too much.
We probably eat too much. We love to eat out though. As you can see, she has a My Therapy in a Box podcast, and we love to travel. That's one thing we really love to do.
Yeah, and we have our YouTube channel that we do.
Yeah.
That we do together, which is fun. It's another fun outlet.
Yeah, people love our little YouTube channel. It's growing. It's starting from scratch. We're getting there, you know. But that's just a little bit about us, man. We love to, as you guys know, we love to eat out. We love to do everything together. I've been doing photography for about 4 years now, full time. And I left my job actually 4 years ago to do this full time, and I love it. This is not my first time jumping into the entrepreneurship world. I failed a lot of times, but this last time has really been good, and I've been learning a lot. And there's nothing like going through the fire, the ups and the downs, with somebody supporting you and having your back all the way.
I do my best.
She does her best, right? All right, let's get it going.
So 5 steps. So we're going to piggyback off of each other because that's just what we do best. And today we're going to talk about pretty much how to overcome through the slow seasons.
Slow seasons. So what are we talking about, the slow seasons? What does that look like? So basically, like the slow seasons is like, you have a business or you have services that you offer to the community, but there's a period to where things can get slow. People are not booking you. Your job, you may cut some hours. As you guys can see, we're in a major pandemic right now. People are without jobs. And so this is what we're talking about, overcoming slow seasons. When financially some things are not going as smoothly as they would normally go.
Right.
And so we're going to give you some key points for today.
So we're going to go over knowing your why, steps to build residual and passive income, avoiding burnout in your business, and creating boundaries that make your business more successful.
So this is what we're going to be kind of going through today. So we got some good nuggets for you. So we want to hit our first key point.
Number one,
the first step on how to get through slow seasons is, what is your why?
Knowing what your why is.
Knowing your why. A lot of times we get to these slow seasons and it's mental, it's real mental. We get depressed, we get stressed out, and we need something that is going to motivate us to push us through those tough times, to push us through those difficult times.
And remind you why you started it in the first place.
Right.
So that's typically what your why is. That involves the kids, whether that's your family, whether that's traveling. Sometimes it involves your current circumstances or where you would like to see your circumstances in the future. For some people, it's creating generational wealth for yourself and your family, becoming debt-free, having financial freedom, traveling, creating a legacy. For those of you that have kids, having your business is a way to pass something down to your kids so they can continue it and keep it going on. And the light that you see in your kids' eyes, if you work from home, if they see you excited about your business, that they see, and that joy and that passion that they see in you creates excitement for you and keeps you pushing and gives you that drive and that motivation.
Yeah. You need something that pushes you. So you gotta think it, you gotta see it, and you gotta do it. This is kind of like a process I go through when I go through those difficult times, those slow seasons. I gotta think on something that's gonna give me that strength to push me through. I gotta see something with my own eyes that's gonna motivate me and inspire me, and I gotta do something that's gonna fuel me to get through those tough times. For instance, like, we love to travel. Like, we love to travel, and when we go on travel, we like to see the beautiful landscapes, we like to jump in the water and take that little backstroke in the water. You know what I'm saying? We love.
That may be you, but that won't be me.
You ain't trying to get in the water though?
No backstrokes for me.
Oh man, see, Corey, you can't swim. That's what that is.
Anybody ask you to say all that?
Oh man, I got your back. I got your back. Hey, they used to call me Free Willy back in the day. I got your back, cuz. I got you. I got you, fam. I got you, fam. I got you. Hey, that's the thing. You gotta think, you gotta see, you gotta do it. We love to travel, so every time we're getting ready to travel or we want to go someplace, we're researching it. We're thinking about it. We're brainstorming about it. We're seeing the places where we want to go.
And you're seeing yourself there.
Yeah.
It's like you enmash yourself in placing yourself in that. You visualize yourself in that place doing that particular thing.
Exactly. So when you're in that slow season, when you're in that pandemic, you got to fuel yourself. You got to say, man, what is it that's going to motivate me to push through this tough time? That's going to help me think of that next idea. Mm-hmm. And so another example is, hey, there was a car that I was thinking about during the pandemic, right? Mm-hmm. The pandemic hit, the COVID hit, and I started to get a little depressed because during like April, May, things started to slow down. And I was like, man, like, what am I going to do? Like, I no money's coming in. Mm-hmm. And so all year long, I have a dream car, and that dream car is the Lexus. And so in that downtime, I had to think about what inspires me, what's going to get me up out of that slump and say, hey man, think of that next idea. Find a way to push through this slow season. You can do it. Mm-hmm. And so I started thinking about the Lexus.
Like, what is it that I want? Like, what's the outcome that I'm trying to get out of all this hard work that I'm doing?
Right.
You saw yourself doing that?
Yeah, I saw myself riding back, in the lean.
Okay.
And then, I started researching some more about the car.
Right.
And then I started seeing the car, going to visit and look at cars. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, that motivated me to get my tail up and figure something out. Mm-hmm. What am I good at? What can I pull out of my bag of tricks to kind of get us through this pandemic? Mm-hmm. And so those things is kind of what will motivate you. And this is kind of what motivated me during the pandemic. And I actually got this car during the pandemic, believe it or not. Mm-hmm. So I just want you guys to think about that. When you're in a slow season, think about your why. Think about what's going to push you through that slow season. Think, see, and do.
And it's all about your mindset. Think, see, and do creates a mindset. And your mindset, when it comes to creating new thoughts, it always starts with a thought, then your behavior, then an action. So thinking, seeing, and doing creates that mindset, which determines your behavior, which results in a new habit forming or a continual habit that you'll proceed doing, as you move forward.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. That's some good stuff right there. Hey, shout out to Courtney for taking this photo for me.
You welcome.
I wasn't talking to nobody on the phone, as you can see the apps on there. So let's keep it moving. You can see the apps on the phone. Step two. So step 2 is stop trading time for money. Okay. Mm-hmm. Stop trading time for money. Okay, Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a favorite book of mine. My Uncle Gifford is like my rich dad or my rich uncle who kind of mentors me financially to get me thinking outside of the box. So, residual and passive income is something to think about, because when you work a 9-to-5 job, you're really trading time for a paycheck, time for money. You go in, you clock in, and then based off the time you give them, they're going to give you a check for it. And it can be the same in some businesses. Mm-hmm. Like, for instance, I'm a photographer. Even though I can control my own revenue, I still have to be physically present in order to get a check. Even though you pay me first, I still got to be there physically in order to close out that deal.
I think, I will say a slight difference between a 9-to-5 and a personal business is a 9-to-5 when you trade time for money. They're giving you what they think that you deserve.
That's true.
But when you have your own business, you're creating the cap on what you feel that you deserve. So your monetary value, a company can tell you, how much they value you based off how much they pay you. But when you have your own business, you're creating that value for yourself and you're putting it out there. And what people are willing to pay, if they can, they can. If they can't, they can't. But that's the monetary value that you have. So it may be more worth it because you could charge more than what you would possibly make in a 9-to-5.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You create that bottom and the high for yourself.
It's all up to you, when you become that entrepreneur. And also you have to think a little bit smarter. You got to work smarter, not harder. Okay. So what is it that you can do? Okay. That you can create it one time, right? And then you can reap the benefits later. get the greatest return on your investment. You invest in something, it may take some time to create it, but once you create that thing, you can reap the benefits. Okay, so if you can do it, guess what? You can teach it.
Just like your cheat sheet
Just
guy.
like my cheat sheet guy. Y'all see the cheat sheet guy here. I have a lot of photographers that ask me questions. Hey, where do you get your albums from? How do you send your photos to clients? What website do you use? Showit.
Right.
So Showit's in the cheat sheet guide.
Right.
You know,
Plug.
So the thing is, I created this guide, and when I was creating it, I was getting tired. I was getting frustrated. I was like, man, I don't want to create this, man. Ain't nobody gonna buy this. I stuck with it because I thought to myself that if I could just create it one time, get it right, I could sell it for a price and people would buy it. And that's what happened.
Because people pay for convenience.
Yeah.
And you already did the hard work. You went through the process of elimination when it came to resources, because this is a resource guide. And these are resources that worked for you.
Right. And so that's how we stop trading time for money. So what is it that you can do, that you can create, that you can create it one time, but continue to reap those benefits later? I know you got skills. I know you got creative things that you can do, which we'll talk about a little later in that other point, that you can, ways for that you can stop trading time for money. Okay. So let's hit our third point here.
Now, the third point, which is very vital when it comes to having a business, even in your personal life, is creating boundaries. Now, boundaries are those limits and those expectations and guidelines that we set in place for our expectations of how we want to be treated by people. And that works even in your business. Your business should have boundaries as well.
Amen.
Your business is pretty much your fees. Your business is your policy that you have in place. Your business is even your workflow, because when you do something, you expect your client to respond in a particular way. So you have to create boundaries. You have to know your limits. You have to know what works for you, what doesn't, and what is beneficial to your business at the time. Because at the end of the day, you are your brand, which the next point says respect your brand. You are your business. You are the brand. You are the face of your company. You are the face of your brand. So whatever boundaries that you easily let in or things that you easily let slide, that affects your business and how you conduct business with people. And you have to be mindful in knowing how to say no. Every type of business is not good business. Many times saying no is the best option for your business, because you're creating a standard for your business. And deciding, no thanks, this is not a good business move for me at this time. So I'm just going to move on to something else. And it's okay to say no. It's okay to say no when you also too tired to do anything.
Period. Period. Somebody go get me. Somebody go get me later. They're gonna be like, bro, it's not period. It's period.
You're right.
I got it, fam. I got it. I know y'all about to inbox me. So.
Right. So you have to know your limits. You have to respect your brand. Respecting your brand is creating those business boundaries. Sometimes those boundaries could look like rules, expectations. I said policies. I said your fees, your price that you charge. Also knowing what days you choose to work and what days you don't, because just because you're free doesn't mean you're available. Being free and being available are two different things. So when clients feel that you're free, a lot of times it confuses the line by saying, oh, they're free, they're off today. Let me contact them because that means they're available. No.
Exactly. No,
sis.
No, fam.
No, brother.
I'm
not. I'm not. That's a boundary. That's a cutoff. This is family time, or sometimes it's just you time, which is what we all need. We need a time to recoup. So creating boundaries are the limitations that you set in place. And the quote on the side says, boundaries without grace will lead to a life of solitude. All boundaries that you put in place may not work right the first time, but you have to give yourself grace to continue to hone in, continue to tighten up, and get it better each time around.
That's right.
Because at the end of the day, boundaries protect you. A fence is a boundary. The doors on our house are boundaries. Everything is created to protect you and your business and your emotions and feelings that go into wanting your business to be the best that it can. So create boundaries. I'm going to stop here because I can go on and on.
Man, we can go
That
on
was
and
my
on.
number 3.
But that important point that you just said, Courtney, is that say no.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that say no? It's so many ways that you can say no, because that's important. You know what I'm saying? You gotta protect your psyche. You feel me?
Right.
So
right.
we gonna help you out. Just real quick, guys.
Just throw some examples out there.
Just 30 seconds, okay? Just 30 seconds. We're gonna tell you how you can say no. Okay. I can't do it today.
Yeah.
I'm booked. I'm booked.
If some of you struggle with just the words no, it's like a curse word to you.
I'm unavailable. Okay.
What's the other one?
Remember the other one? The other one could be. Man.
So just the heavy sigh.
Just the heavy sigh. I do that all the time. Hey, Mark, can you shoot me this weekend?
And you be breathing out so long, they just don't feel like
they're not gonna know what happened. They're not gonna know what happened. So we giving you tips on how you can say no. You gotta protect your mind, body, and soul, man.
I got another one. I don't think this is a good move for my business right now.
Amen. Yep.
Or even myself. I don't think this is a good move for myself in the direction that I'm going at this time. But maybe we can revisit it in the future.
So we just wanted to give you those quick tips, okay? We're going to move to the next.
Right.
We're still on the same point, but we're going to move to the next slide. But just how you say no, okay? Okay, fam? And this goes along with creating boundaries.
Creating boundaries. Oh, my gosh. I know this. The whole point of this discussion is talking about how to overcome the slow season. And this pandemic created a lot of slowness and pause and momentum for a lot of photographers and business professionals out there. But one thing, I'm going to go on the flip side of the coin and say, in many ways, this pandemic or slow season was necessary. It's not always the first instinct to overcome something before you embrace it.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I think with slow seasons, with this pandemic, it's great to embrace the fact that it's slow, because a slow season helps you to slow down. Some of you have been moving so fast anyway and always on the go, doing things all the time for other people, and you can struggle with saying no.
Man, I feel the points.
You know, and knowing when to slow down. And it's unfortunate that a pandemic had to come and pretty much force your business to stop moving in order for you to slow down. So a slow season, just because something is slow doesn't mean it's not moving. And so being with the mindset that, yes, I need to find how to adapt and adjust to creating this momentum, sometimes you all needed to slow down. Grind culture. The point with grind culture is we get so caught up in the social media conditioning that if I'm not going, if I'm not doing, then I'm not doing enough. But many times, what you're doing is what you need to be doing at that time. And if you get so caught up in not allowing yourself to rest, then how can you be that idea generator that you need when you're supposed to rest?
Right.
Hence, a rested mind is a wealthy mind. When you rest, you're able to create more ideas. You're able to have a clear mind. You're able to create ideas of revenue, so you won't have a slow season.
Exactly.
It's important to work, and I'm not downplaying work and doing what you have to do, but it's just as important to take a break when you need to. Things will get done. People will go somewhere else.
That's true.
It's a harsh reminder, but if they want something done and you can't do it, they'll just find somebody else. It's not that they're going to stop with you. So allowing yourself time to rest in order for you to recharge and take that time to mentally recoup is very important for you to reset, because if you're not at your best capacity, then you can't give your client the best thing that they need anyway, because your mind's going to be cloggy. There are a lot of additional mental handicaps that can come along when you're not rested. If you're not sleeping, if you're consumed with this I'm not sleeping till I'm dead mindset, then you're going to reach a death sooner than you would like to.
Mm-hmm.
When you lack sleep, your mind is not rested, your brain is not able to recharge and recoup, your body isn't rested, and it's best to rest yourself before your brain tells your body to stop. I've been in that predicament before. If you don't stop, your body will stop, and then you'll really be messed up in the long run because you didn't listen to your body. Our body tells us what we need to do.
Exactly.
And so during this, I said all that to say is that a slow season is not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's necessary. So in addition to overcoming it, it's important to embrace the fact that, you know what, maybe I do need to take this time to take a break, to recoup, to rest. So when the end of this pandemic, when the end of this slow season comes, then I'm better for it. Every season has its purpose, winter, spring, summer, fall. But in order to be prepared for the next season, you have to give yourself time to prepare and to rest.
Amen.
That was
Courtney.
a lot.
Hey man, you went in on them, Courtney. You went in today.
Yeah, that was like real close to my heart because.
But it was true. It's true though,
because people
always
need to feel like I have to grind and grind.
Yeah,
and you can
true.
grind yourself to death and still reap see no benefits because you worked yourself to death and now you're not around to see the outcome.
It is important because I work and grind like a mug. But you know, when I get that rest, I'm able to think about my next move, my next creative idea. And so you do need that clear mind. Just like this dog here, that's kind of like a resemblance of me when I come home every day. I be laid out, fam. Crouching tiger, hidden dragon, bro. I be laid out when I come home. We be grinding. So the next point, number 4, step number 4 on how to get through a slow season is think outside the box. Think outside the box, fam. What my boy say, Master P? You don't want to go to war with a soldier. No limit. I thought I told you.
Don't limit yourself.
Yeah, don't limit yourself, fam. You always stand inside this box, fam.
What about that?
This box, fam. You feel what I'm saying? Like, get out the box, fam. Like, think outside the box. Think outside the box. People tell you that you can only just do one thing with your life. Mm-hmm. And then that one thing is the only thing you can do. But when that one thing hits or something happens to where you can't do that one thing, that one like weddings, if you shoot weddings and you can't shoot weddings, what else you gonna go to? If you're a wedding photographer, if you're a makeup artist, and then everybody starts catching face diseases, what you gonna do, fam? I'm trying to make it clear here. You feel me? I'm trying to make it clear. I'm just saying, COVID came, we weren't ready. You know what I'm saying? So when one stream is cut off, what else can you go to? You got to pull out the bag of tricks. You feel me? So you got to stay flexible. You know, we understand that you have to master a craft. You got to have a niche. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But it's not to say that you can't do something else. Okay? It's not to say that you can't perfect another skill, you know, or you have other gifts that you can use. Okay? Mm-hmm. So think outside the box. Stay flexible. Have that ability to be able to flip that switch when difficult times come. And what I mean by that flip the switch is like, look at this turtle right here. Y'all probably laughing right now looking at this turtle. Y'all like looking at this turtle. Why this man got his mouth open? You feel me? Why the man got the little greens and stuff coming out the side of his mouth? Why he reaching for this leaf, babe? And
he's trying to eat.
He's trying to eat, man. We're trying to eat. He could, like, you remember you told me the other day, he said he could stay in his shell.
You know, it's like even a turtle has to come out his shell to eat.
He got to come out his shell.
When you're hungry, you need to eat. So even the turtle, whose shell is his home, knows he has to come outside his box.
He got to come outside
in order to make things happen and in order to eat. So
and on the flip side, if you can't shoot weddings, you know, I'm talking to photographers, I'm talking to everybody. If you can't shoot a portrait, you can't shoot studio because it's closed for COVID, you can shoot turtles, fam. I'm making it clear to you guys. I'm making it clear. Let's be real. You can shoot turtles. You can shoot birds. You can shoot giraffes. You can shoot landscape. You can shoot architecture. You can shoot a lot. You can shoot some stuff, and then you can sell it for stock photography, fam.
Stock images.
Stock images. Get that. Holla at your boy, fam.
That's what I'm talking about.
You can sell it for stock photos, fam. That's what I'm just trying to tell you.
Hence this stock photo.
Hence the stock photo. We got this stock photo.
See, the person that took this picture didn't even realize how
it.
they will benefit us and proving the point of thinking
Right,
outside the box.
exactly.
See how much you can get out of picture.
You got to think outside the box, fam.
Photographers, man.
So it's so what we're trying to say is, you know, when I went through the pandemic, I had to flip a switch, and that switch was pulling out the clothing line.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people know that I'm a photographer, but a lot of folks didn't know that I had a clothing line. Is it a big clothing line? No, it's not. I have a t-shirt business that sells inspirational t-shirts. And when the pandemic hit, all my weddings was postponed. All my gigs was shut down. I couldn't shoot in the studio. People were scared to shoot outside. My calendar was empty. But I got a t-shirt machine over there. I had some transfers. I had an idea. I got my rest, and I started thinking outside the box.
You thought?
And
you saw the boxes.
I saw the boxes, and we saw the news, and everybody was saying, you got to stay 6 feet, fam. You got to stay 6 feet away from each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I came out with a shirt that says, give me 6 feet, bruh. And the shirt sold like crazy, fam.
So that way you don't have to say nothing to nobody.
You got to say
you just wear the shirt proudly.
Just wear the shirt.
With your mask
Give me
on.
6 feet, bruh. And that's what kind of lifted us through the pandemic, because we was able to think outside the box and work on that t-shirt business.
And I do want to also point out that when it comes to thinking outside the box, a lot of times we think we need more resources,
Mm-hmm.
but in many cases, we don't need more resources. We just need to be more resourceful with the things that we have
Exactly.
and the things that we know already to do.
And to that point, like my man, you got it. All my folks from Memphis, I know you guys are watching. My boy, you got it. He say, I'm recession proof. I know how to make the money and stack the paper too.
Why you got the box with it though?
To make it feel more real. You got to make it feel more real, like you got it.
But they can't hear the beat.
Hey, babe, I'm just trying to make my Memphis folks feel it.
Think, see, do, huh?
And they say do. I'm trying to make them think and see and do it. You got to be recession proof. So what's that when one stream is cut off, what's the other thing that you can go to? I'm a photographer, but I was able to go to my t-shirt business. I know some makeup artists that are teaching online, that are doing courses. You know, these are tips that you can do. Like what can you do that will make you recession proof? Okay.
And more resourceful.
Mm-hmm. You got creative skills. Some of you guys can write books. Some of you guys can become authors, sell PDF guides. You may have knowledge on something and you can sell that. You got e-courses is real popular right now.
Mm-hmm. And people are at home a lot.
People are at home.
You're capitalizing on the fact that people need something to do anyway. So you're giving them something to do and adding a price tag to it. Or it can just be free. It can just be free that leads to something that you can add a monetary value to.
Yep. Saving money.
You
know what I'm saying? Stacking that money, stop eating out and getting those chicken tenders and fries. Save that money, because we spend a lot of money on food.
We do.
I'm not saying we, I'm talking about us as the America.
Oh, us as a whole.
Us as a whole, not just us.
Since I can oversee us, I bet you.
Right. Because you was agreeing, like, yeah. You also got investing. You can invest your money, stocks, bonds. You can invest it in real estate. You know, what can you invest in to turn your money over? And so those are just some tips. When I was going through the pandemic, I couldn't shoot weddings. I couldn't shoot in the studio. I couldn't shoot headshots. But I know how to shoot maternity. I know how seniors luckily picked up during the pandemic, because people couldn't walk across that stage and they wanted to shoot photos.
Right. So even though graduations were canceled, they still wanted that memory in place to show, like, I graduated in 2020. And what do they need for that memory? A photographer to capture them in their cap and gown.
Yeah.
And for their senior pictures.
I'm recession proof.
Don't forget about the
you got YouTube. You got YouTube. Even though you got to get to them 1,000 subscribers, fam, you got to get to that 1K first. But hey, it's a journey. Before it's monetized. But hey, you can do it. It's not to say you can't do it, but that's another way. You got to work on this stuff. You can't just work on this stuff during the pandemic. You have to kind of prepare for the slow seasons. You got couponing, fam.
You can't sleep on the couponers.
You can't sleep.
In the past, we used to laugh at the people that get taken up all the time in the line.
Exactly.
But I bet you they were prepared during this pandemic, because they had all the paper towels and toilet tissue, and everything that they needed in their garage, and people were going to them.
Exactly.
So using couponing as a way to be recession proof, so you can be prepared for these moments.
Get them coupons, fam. Walgreens. You feel me?
CVS.
All right, so we're coming up on our last point right here. Point number 5, Court.
Yeah. Point number 5 is avoiding comparisons. With the pandemic rendezvous came a lot of people at home on our phones, on computers, watching other people, because some people didn't have anything to do, so all they had to do was watch what other people are doing. And so then we get into the boat of comparing. Man, so and so looks like they're doing this. I'm not doing that. Maybe I should do that. Man, so and so has all these views on this. Man, how can I get more views? We get into that mindset of not thinking that, even going back to the previous point earlier when it comes to the grinding, not thinking that you're enough because we're too busy comparing what we're not doing to what somebody is doing, or the reverse, we're comparing what somebody's not doing compared to what we're doing. If we're busy comparing our situations, then we're not doing anything. So if I'm comparing what Marcus is doing, what I'm not doing, that means I'm not working. I'm not getting work done. I'm not getting stuff done. GSD, like Chip usually says.
GSD, baby.
Like, you're not GSDing if I'm comparing what you're doing to what I'm not doing.
And to that point, like, social media can kind of mess you up when it comes to comparisons, because on your timeline, all you're seeing is happy moments. So if it's messing with your mind like that, then the people that you're comparing to, you might need to remove them off your timeline.
Right.
And, so
just hide it.
just hide it.
You can hide people's, little things.
Mute that stuff.
Status off your timeline, to where you don't have to see it. And even people who complain a lot, or you're just not interested in what they have to say, you can hide it. And you have to fast from social media, because social media will have you thinking that you have to do everything fast, because things is constantly going, it's constantly overstimulating our mind to where we're not moving fast enough. It's like we can't keep up, we can't do this. And you need to take a break. Fast from social media. The 10-year comparison is more so saying that I'm comparing where I am starting in 2 years of being in my business to somebody who's been doing it for 10.
Woo.
We're not going to have that same momentum. We're not going to have the same clientele. We're not going to have the same outcome, because I can't compare somebody else's 10-year to my 2.
Right.
We're on different wavelengths. Be content with where you are. Why try to match what should be one of a kind? I shouldn't be Marcus, because Marcus is his own person, but I can be the best version of myself that I can be, hence be yourself. People are drawn to you, those of you that are business leaders, because of who you are. You have repeat customers because of you, not because of you trying to be somebody else. If they wanted the other person, they could just book them or go to the other person, but they wanted you. So you have to be confident in being who you are and being the best version of yourself. So therefore, the only person you need to be comparing yourself to is Jesus Christ, who will never be able to get at that level. Amen, because he's the most perfect. So when we level our mindsets to realizing that, comparison kills all form of joy, all form of happiness, because I'm not feeling enough or that I'm doing enough. So avoiding comparisons will really get you in the mindset to where I can get through this season, because I'm not thinking that what I'm doing is not enough and I can get through it, because I'm not worried about what somebody else is doing, because my head is in the ground, my tail is in the air, and I'm getting stuff done. So at the end of this, I can start seeing the fruits of my labor.
Amen. That was cold right there. That was cold. Be the you God created you to be. So those are our points right there. We just want to do a recap, fam. We just want to do a recap. We just gave you guys some tips on how you can get through slow seasons. It's really a mind thing. Okay. So what's your why? What's that thing that's gonna push you through those tough times? You gotta think, see, and do, right? What's gonna give you that strength? What's gonna motivate you? What's gonna give you that fuel to push through? Stop trading time for money. That's step number 2. That's tip number 2. Stop trading time for money. What is it that you can create one time and then gain the benefits and reap the harvest afterwards? Okay.
When we come to rest,
No, you got it. You got to
Okay.
go on in, fam. Shoot your shot.
Shoot my shot. Okay. So when it comes to resting and creating boundaries, a quick recap is listening to your body, knowing when it's time to slow down, and also realizing that you don't have to feel the need to push yourself beyond your limit to see your rewards. To value rest. Valuing rest doesn't make you lazy. Not working makes you lazy. So creating those boundaries for yourself, for your business, and resting when you need to, whether that's 1 day, 2 days, or a week, however long, whatever that looks like for you, implement that into your daily routine.
Number 4, think outside the box, man. Don't become a one-way street. Become a 4-lane highway, fam.
But don't swerve, though.
Don't swerve on it. Hey, swerve. It'll swerve to, ooh. You got to think outside the box, fam.
Think outside the box. Be resourceful. Not worry about resources that you don't have, but how can you be resourceful with the resources that you do?
Right.
That's thinking outside the box. Coming outside your shell like that turtle.
Exactly. Coming outside like the turtle. It caught me off guard because I was thinking about the turtle reaching for that thing, man. You reaching for that food because that's how you gotta reach, man. You gotta reach outside the box, fam. Number 5.
Avoiding comparisons. I said enough in the last one, with avoiding comparisons.
Tip number 5, avoid comparing yourself to people who've been in the game 10 years when you just started. Okay.
Right. It
takes work.
It is what it is.
All right, so that's our recap for today. So we're gonna take any questions. I got my man right here with the hand up. So if you got questions, please, let us know so we can answer them.
All right. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I am motivated today. Okay. That was so good. I can't even tell you how many people are in the chat and are like, who is this couple? I am so pumped up right now. So that's so awesome. And guys, if you aren't pumped up, you need to wait till the replay comes out and rewatch it so you can get motivated, because I'm over here motivated and I'm 9 months pregnant and I shouldn't be motivated to do anything right now. Okay.
You motivated to have that baby. That's what you're motivated to do.
Yeah, exactly. So I have a few questions personally, but we did have a couple questions in the chat too. We had you guys had mentioned thinking outside the box, and you mentioned stock photos. So we had a question. Someone said, can you really make money off of stock photos in this time?
Can you really make money off of stock photos? You can make something. During a pandemic or during a slow season, you're not going to get rich, fam. Like, doing stock photos is not going to pay your rent. That's $1,500 a month. Stock photos is something that you can do as an additional income or side income. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't look to that as a major stream, but I would look to it as just some extra side money that comes in. An additional stream.
More than a mainstream.
So it's not, you're not going to get rich off of it. I'm just being honest with you.
Unless you may be doing it for corporate.
Yeah.
They need images or something.
But there is a possibility to where you're not going to only do stock photos, but you can sell your own artwork. You can blow up your own artwork, and you can possibly get more money for it, selling it to people who may be interested in buying, private artwork. Mm-hmm. So that's my take on that.
So it's something. It's better than nothing. Just sitting there confused, right? Okay.
Exactly.
Someone asked, you talked about your cheat sheet. How do they get your cheat sheet, or how do they purchase it?
My cheat sheet, I kind of took it off right now. So I'm actually working on a online course platform. It's called Shoot Your Shot Academy. It's something that I've been thinking about during the pandemic, to where I'm trying to come out with. So I've been trying to film videos and trying to relaunch that. So that's something that I've kind of taken off the market, but I plan to relaunch that back probably next month as far as my cheat sheet guide. And I'll have it on my website where you can probably purchase that.
Sweet. Okay. We have another question from James. It's one of our Showit people. He said, you mentioned you purchased your dream car during the pandemic by thinking, seeing, and doing. What were some things you did to build momentum after the pandemic hit? So
I couldn't shoot weddings. So what pretty much what happened was just word of mouth. So what I did after the pandemic was really what I did before the pandemic. It's what I've been doing. It was what I did in 2019. I tell Courtney this all the time. What I do in 2019 helps me build momentum in 2020. So what I did in the summer of 2019 helped me build momentum. So I always try to make sure I have good response time. I always take care of my customers. I always treat my clients like family. And I always continue to post on social media. That's one of my big things, is posting on social media, because people just don't buy into what you do, but they buy into who you are as a person. And so that's why a lot of people love following me on social media and following my stories, because I add myself in there and I just try to be myself. And so pretty much it was just a ricochet. Like it was like a domino effect. After the pandemic, people started they're always tagging my name in different comments. If you need a photographer, hey, Marcus can shoot. And so it just came out of nowhere. It's nothing that I miraculously did after the pandemic, but it was more so how I prepared for the slow season that kind of got me through. I didn't run any Facebook ads, and Facebook ads does work, but it was just word of mouth, and people just vouching for me after the pandemic.
And the seeds that you sowed last year, you were reaping the harvest of, because I guess you can say people had time to focus on those things because nothing was going on. So people had time to focus on, okay, let's see what else, Marcus may have to offer.
Right.
Let's see what else he's doing.
Right.
Because I'm not doing this. So it was less distractions, which pretty much can help bring about more business, because people weren't distracted on other things and working. So they had more time to see what was going on, probably with the business and what you had to offer.
Exactly.
Perfect. That was a great answer. Awesome. Okay, I have a question. So, starting out, people tend to, you talk about, not trading your time for money, but starting out like in a photography business or during the pandemic, everyone's like freaking out. So you're kind of chasing money. How do you set those boundaries that really don't exist during a time where you're just kind of scrambling to put stuff together, and just stop chasing that dollar and really still have those boundaries in place and doing what's best for your brand and for your business?
I guess that's a me question.
You got it, Court?
I think even when you don't think you have boundaries, you do, because when you chase money, there are still things that or when you feel like you're chasing money, there's still limitations that you have in place and still things that you're not willing to do for money. So I think that's an initial start in creating a boundary and realizing and reflecting on the fact that, hey, I really just realized that you may not be a nude photographer and somebody may want to do nude photography and it's just not you, or even some it's fruit or food. It's like, that's not something that I want to do. So I'm choosing to say no to doing that by redirecting them to somebody who does. Okay. And a boundary is just a limitation that you set. Sometimes it's not so, it doesn't have to be much, but it's acknowledging and realizing what it is you're willing to do versus what you're not willing to do. So it doesn't have to be extreme, but really knowing your limitations.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
And just to piggyback off that, just because you get through a slow season don't mean you have to just make money right away. Sometimes that slow season is an opportunity for you to think of an idea that you can work on in a slow season. So when you come out of it, you launching it, okay? So you can, like an e-course, like during the slow season, I thought about, hey, I need to work on my e-courses. So you can work on something in that slow season. That is not going to bring you money in, but all the hard work you put in during the pandemic, when you come out of it, you can reap the harvest.
Right.
Exactly. Sweet. Thanks. Okay, we have another question. Do you all have any book recommendations that have helped you during this time? I know you mentioned Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Is there any other books, like, you talked about your first topic is knowing your why. Is there any books that really helped with that part or anything like that?
During this, hold on. I just want to make sure I get the title right.
Tomorrow's what? Profit First? Profit First is
Profit
a good
First is a
book.
good one.
I haven't read it, but Courtney's read it, and a lot of people has told me about Profit First. I'm going through my Audible playlist. So some books that's a favorite of mine is Think and Grow Rich, As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. I love, I don't know if you know Eric Thomas, Dr. Eric Thomas, E.T., you know what I'm saying? E.T., the hip hop preacher, but he has a few books out, but one of my favorites by him is The Blueprint.
And another one that I finished that I read a month or so ago, and I'm going to go back and reread it. Even though I mentioned saying no as a part of boundaries, this was The Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes was a good book. And pretty much, what is it? The Year of Yes, How to Dance It Out, Stand in the Sun, and Be Your Own Person. That was a really good book. And I don't know, it's just really good.
Mm-hmm.
So this has nothing to do with boundaries and, saying no when you need to say no, but just the year of yes, just looking at life differently and not always being so rigid. It's a difference between having loose boundaries, rigid boundaries, and healthy boundaries. Mm-hmm. Allowing some things in, even, if it causes it to be a benefit to you. So that was a good book.
Awesome.
For me.
Well, I'm gonna get that on my Audible like today. That sounded you sold that book really well. Okay, last question for today. So people, you talked about like finding your value in yourself, and when you work for someone else, they kind of put a cap on you. But when you work for yourself, you can find your own value. To those people who really struggle with like finding their value in their prices, or they underprice themselves, or they're not charging what they're worth, how do you get people in the mindset of really, I guess it's almost like they're scared to charge what they should, what they're valued at. So how do you really get into that mindset or change your mindset to really charge what you're worth?
First of all, I just want to say to you and everybody else, you are worth it. Okay, you're worth it. Okay, I'm saying, if you go into a job, a 9 to 5, and they pay you $15 an hour, you slave all day long, and you notice when you apply for a job, they have like a whole bunch of expectations, like like this is like, I can't even pronounce this word. What is this? They have objectives, and you go in and you give your best, but you still feel like you're not getting paid your worth. Okay, just know that you are valued and that you are worth it. Okay, so don't put a cap on yourself. So I always tell my trainees to do market research for one, to see what is the market charging, okay, in your area. Then look at yourself and see, okay, where be honest with yourself. Where is my quality at? What does my quality fit within that market? Okay, and then you charge based off your worth. Now this is another thing. Let's say, for instance, if I charge somebody charges $75 for a headshot session for 30 minutes. But there's another photographer out there that charges $600 for 30 minutes for a headshot session. Okay. But then all of a sudden, if you went up on your price and you charged $350, right? And 4 people booked you for that $150, your value is going to go up. You're going to start believing in yourself. Okay. There's a market for everybody in this world. There's people that can pay that price. You just have to go into that market. And you have to let them know that you are valued and this is my worth. Right.
And it's a trial and error as well, because sometimes you have to test things to see if it'll work. When it comes to price value, it's all in your mindset. It's mental, because the photographer that charges $75 can have the same quality as the 600, but because this photographer charged more, I'm assuming that they're going to be better, even though the quality is still the same. So technically, the customer has already agreed to match what they're going to receive from you based off your monetary value that you put out there before they even got your product, because they're assuming if they're charging this, I know I'm going to get the best of the best.
Right.
So they created that value for yourself even before you decided it was going to work, or even before you presented them the outcome of it. So it's a trial and error first. Sometimes you have to try things to see the return that you get on it or the feedback that you get on it, and you have to make adjustments from there. And then you have to let the customer know. You have to tell them what you do. That's that boundary also. Like, this is what I'm worth. This is the quality that I'm going to give you. So I'm going to charge you this value for it. Okay. And based off your price, they're going to believe, because the price already shifted that mindset to believe that it's of value, if that makes sense.
No, for sure. For sure. I had someone who wanted a follow-up question to your answer. Is there a certain place that they can research pricing?
There isn't a certain place. Yeah, okay. There is a certain place. Google. Google is your friend. That's what I'm saying. Google is your friend, man. When I research in my area in Memphis, I just go on other photographers' websites, and I just try to see what my market is. I just try to see what the price point is. Wherever city that you're in, wherever market, if you're a makeup artist, research makeup artists in that city and just go on their website and see what their prices is. Look at their quality. Look on their Instagram. So you can kind of compare and see, okay, this seems to be the market rate that people are paying. Like, people are comfortable paying this, and then set your price point, accordingly. So Google, to me, is the number one thing. Searching on people's websites, or going through Instagram, finding makeup artists through hashtags or whoever in your profession, and going to their website.
And research is not more so to imitate what others are doing,
exactly,
but to give you a guideline on how you can go about doing what you're trying to do.
Everybody does research.
We research, we do comparisons and contrast. And I want to plug this in too. Now, I don't think it's smart, even though you're adding monetary value to what you may say you're worth or whatever it is, people shouldn't be impulsive and be like, well, I'm going to charge this. And the quality that you put out is not going to meet it, because the outcome of that is going to affect your business and probably decrease, because, a name is worth far more than anything else. If your name is negative in the community, then that's going to affect your business. So don't add an astronomical price to something to where you can't deliver on. You have to be realistic with yourself when it comes to pricing and your ability to meet that pricing based off of the quality that you put out as well.
Yeah, I would just real quick, I would add that, Chip Desar is my mentor, and I didn't think I could shoot weddings. This might be a real good tip for someone that asked this question here. Get a mentor, okay? That's in your area or in your field that you can get coaching from. I didn't think I could shoot weddings, and Chip tells me all the time, bro, you're charging too cheap. Like, what are you doing? And it was me working with Chip, and Chip mentoring me on live gigs, showing me that I can do it, and that I am valuable, and that I am worth it. It takes a mentor. So I have mentees that come to me all the time, and I assess where they are, with their quality. Don't be afraid to pay and to invest in a mentor that can kind of gauge where you are, and that can kind of give you that advice.
Ding. Did the light come on, guys? I think so. It did for me anyway. But guys, that's all the questions we have for today. I know you guys had one more slide that you wanted to put up. So go ahead and you could do that right now. Guys, give the virtual round of applause for Courtney and Marcus. They did awesome today.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.
And they got a coupon code for you guys to Hey Bro Apparel. You guys, I've ordered like 4 shirts from them, and they are such good quality, and I love the sayings. So go on there, look at it, Showit 20, and go ahead, guys.
Yes, Showit 20. So go to our website, heybroapparel.com. Just type in Showit 20, and you'll save 20% off all your gear in the shop.
Right.
Make sure you tag us on Instagram at Hey Bro Apparel so we can reshare your photo on our stories and on our Instagram posts. Yeah. And so also you can follow us on social media. My handlers, if you type in Marcus D. Porter, you will find Marcus D. Porter Studios, Marcus D. Porter Weddings, and so forth and so on. You'll find me on Instagram and on Facebook. Courtney? She got her social
Yeah,
media up there as well.
if you just want some encouragement and motivation to get you through the day, then you can follow me at Courtney L. Porter, LCSW, on Instagram, and you can find me on Facebook as Courtney Porter.
All right. Awesome. Guys, thank you so much for coming on the webinar today. We are so privileged to have you guys. You rocked it today. But guys, once again, this was recorded live. So if you need to rewatch, re-listen, get motivated again, come back to this link and it'll be here. But thanks, guys. We'll see ya.
Thank you.
Thank you.